it's Sahar. So today I'm going to be having a one-on-one chat with you guys about being a Black Muslim woman in America. And this is also a collab with my really good friend Nagad, and she's going to be talking about being a Black Muslim woman in Canada because it is really different in different countries. I love Nagad. She's amazing. She's literally like one of the most realist people I've ever met. If you guys want to check her out, you guys totally should. She's amazing. If you haven't subscribed to her, she's awesome. So yeah, I'll link her down below. She's like my big sister on YouTube. So yeah, I'll link her channel and video down below for her to like and subscribe and watch her video. So yeah, Nagad and I both decided on this really cool video idea, and I thought it would be just really beneficial because always ask me like, oh my god, you're American, how are you doing in this time? Or oh my god, like how's it like being a hijabi in like a public school? First, being Black in America, obviously, you know, slavery was a thing, segregation was a thing. I mean, being Black, I don't think is my biggest obstacle. I mean, it is to an extent. Well, first, in like lower school, middle school, I lived in California. I went to Islamic school up until 8th grade, so it's just very diverse. There's so many people, and I never ever was discriminated against being a woman or Muslim or Black. In my school, there weren't a lot of Black people. My life in California up until 8th grade when I was 14 I didn't really have any problems. And then I come to the East Coast, and it's just kind of a culture shock. It's just really like different. It's really different from the West Coast, specifically from California where I came from. And growing up, I had very proud Black and Muslim mom and dad. Like, it was just really all my family proud Black people, you know, African American, if I didn't mention that, and also proud Muslims. So I never really like felt the need to like be like, oh, I'm Black, oh, I'm Muslim, like that's weird. But it wasn't really like such a big deal. Like, I wasn't never called names, or I wasn't really like discriminated against, but I could see like, oh, some people still kind of have that mindset of like the olden days, and I've like heard some people say some stuff, but like nothing towards me, you know what I mean? I moved again last year to Pennsylvania, PA, and that's where I was kind of like, okay, wow, this is new, this is a thing. And, my teacher actually told me that the KKK isn't dead in Pennsylvania. It's still a thing, like up in like the mountain areas, and like there's obviously they're not like going around killing people like that I know of, but it's still the KKK, like the Klan. It's still there, and people are still like, you know, meeting up and everything, and it's just kind of like, okay, it's 2016, and at my school, it's mostly white people, like mostly white people and Hispanic. Well, I think it's mostly white people and then like Hispanics, and then there's like really small percent of Black people, and that didn't really bother me that much. But okay, being Muslim has, you know, is very different obviously here in America. Ever since 9/11, ISIS and all this stuff is tainting our religion, and you know, on the news, all these attacks in Bernardino, Orlando shooting, like all these things that keep occurring, and always, oh, Muslim terrorists, yeah, oh, they're Muslim, you know, they're Arab, like they keep saying, oh, you know, they're from Middle East, they're from Saudi Arabia. The news, I watch the news, and everyone perceives all of us like that. In AP World, we talked about Islam a lot, like a lot, and you know, I was the only Muslim and I was the only Black person there, so it was kind of like, okay, and I literally barely anyone know, like, when I came to Pennsylvania, there was one other hijabi at my school, and she left, but people aren't really, well, where I go to school and stuff, people were really oblivious and weren't really open-minded. There are a lot of people who are really open and accepting, don't get me wrong, but in times like this, literally going to school, I see like 5 Trump signs. It's just really different in high school, and I know there's, especially being a hijabi, when I first came to that school, I knew people looked at me weirdly, like, oh, I always get weird looks, but it was kind of different, like, no one really understood it, and in AP World, I did, like, this little presentation on hijab, because we were reading a book about it, and then my teacher's like, hey, you want to talk about it? And I was like, okay, so I did, and then I feel like people got more understanding, and I, like, tell people, and I try to explain to people. So, being a Muslim in America anywhere is just really difficult, but it's not impossible. You know, like, it is hard, there are obstacles that we have to go through, but in the end, if you really love your religion and your faith and you wear the hijab with pride, like, it's worth it. I think people will accept you, and obviously there's not going to be everyone that accepts you, because not everyone's gonna like you, period. Like, especially with this election going on, people, I've seen more than 5 people with like Trump shirts that go, and it's like, you know, like, I'm not hating on like people like who support him. So many things that he said and done, you just like almost assume like, oh, since you're voting for that person, you think this too. Not let Muslims in, and I'm just like, okay, like, do you have that same view though? Like, do you understand that you're voting for him and he wants to do that? Or are you support him? I said this quote once on Snapchat when all this like Black Lives Matter stuff was happening, but in general, I said it was about being a minority, and I said being a minority is okay. Like, being a minority is nothing bad. It's not bad if you're Hispanic, if you're Muslim, if you're Black, like, nothing's wrong with that. But how people think it's okay to treat minorities is bad. That is a bad thing. Oh, just because you're a minority, you're not important, you should get kicked out, we should build a wall, we should not let you in because you're a certain religion, like, just because you're a certain race, like, you're obviously below us. Like, that's not okay. It's nothing impossible to kind of get past, you know, I'm still here, I'm living proof. Yes, I am Black, yes, I am Muslim, yes, I'm a woman, but like, that's not just me, you know, like, oh, I make YouTube videos, or I also have like a lot of cats, I love cats, I like to write poetry, I like to write, I like to do makeup, I love One Direction, I love listening to music, you know, like, I hate when people judge you on like what they see, and like what they see pretty much, or what they assume of you, and not like, no, oh, she has other great qualities. Like, those 3 things aren't just me. There's so many more things inside me, of me, that makes me Sahar. You know what I mean? I'm a Black Muslim woman in America, an American, and this is kind of how it's been recently. And overall, like, I like being everything that I am. I love America, I love being Black, I love being Muslim, I love being a woman. Like, there's never, like, nothing has ever doubted me to be like, oh, I need to take my scarf off. Like, oh, like, I wish I was white. Like, oh, like, so yeah, this probably, I don't even know if this made sense. I tried to write notes, but I did not even go off of them. Like, subscribe to check out Nagad's video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!